Now ready to kick off is Clint Stitzer. He hits the ball for the Bengals. Playing with an injured foot, Joshua Cribbs. Down at the 26-yard line. Now we look at the Cleveland Browns on offense with Colt McCoy at quarterback, the rookie from Texas. Phenomenal player at Texas. 45-8 as a starter. Only quarterback in college history to win 10 or more games in 4 straight years.
And I'll tell you, he does have a presence about him. When we talked to him yesterday, he just really has that genuine presence about him that you look for, especially in a quarterback.
He's very well liked by his teammates. He'll pay the price. He works at it. On 1st and 10, high ball. And he goes to Peyton Hillis. That could have been up for play, that ball, by the defense. As we look at the offensive line of the Browns, Eric Steinbeck, a former Bengal, very good player, left guard. As we look at the specialists on offense, Peyton Hillis, over 1,000 yards rushing, a first-year Brown. He'll get the ball over and over again.
That cold ball, I think, affected Colt McCoy there on that first pass. Not a lot of experience in cold weather games.
I told us how the cold weather balls are very hard. Here's a high ball, but it's taken in for a first down. Beautifully executed. Big Ben Watson over the middle.
Real nice play action fake by Colt McCoy. Set strong in the pocket. You know, he had that ankle injury, the high ankle sprain, but fortunately for him, it was his left ankle. He set strong on that right foot and delivered a nice pass to Ben Watson there.
Watson with his 52nd catch of the year. Now as the Browns get the first down of this opening drive, they go to their big back, and Bengals are looking for him. Peyton Hillis, who's averaging 4.5 a carry, doesn't get much there, out to the 45. Outside backer Maluga brought him down. Look at their defensive line. The rave reviews go to Pecco, nose tackle. Coaches on both teams were applauding him in his play. Honey Jones, middle backer in his 3rd team. He was with the Giants and the Eagles, and he's making a lot of stops. Leon Hall having a good year at cornerback. He's got 5 career interceptions against the Browns. Colt McCoy, good fake, buys time. He can roll. And then he throws and makes a completion inside the 40. So Colt McCoy living dangerously. Was he over the line of scrimmage? Apparently not.
No, I don't think so, and that's where Colt McCoy really can hurt you. You get him out, he doesn't see what he likes right there. He scrambles out of the pocket, and he makes a great throw back across the field. That's a pretty good cornerback, Leon Hall, that almost made that interception. Colt McCoy, a lot of confidence in himself. He's got to be careful running to his right, throwing back to his left. At this level, guys can make the break on that football.
Brian Robisky on the receiving end, another 17-yard gainer. And they go to the big back Hillis, right at the Bengals. He's to the Cincinnati 35-yard line.
Now, this is Bengals defense that has been decimated by injuries, but they're holding up pretty well up front against Peyton Hillis to this point. Last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers in their 23-7 loss, they did not give up an offensive touchdown to the Steelers. So they gained some confidence coming out of that game.
2nd down coming up. A long 7. Colt McCoy dropping quickly. Checks down, almost picked, and it would have gone the other way. And there's a penalty fired in by Jerome Boger. The referee standing behind the quarterback as McCoy took a lick there, Steve.
Well, he did take a lick, and I'll tell you what, he got very, very lucky. That's
a foul. Helmet to helmet contact on the quarterback. Defense, number 57. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That's Honey Jones called with the helmet to helmet contact. Let's look at it. Launched himself into it. Yeah, definitely came through. Not a hard call for the official on that play right there. Colt McCoy, though, as we were saying, Don, very lucky on that throw. He misread the coverage. That was a man-to-man coverage. The most dangerous throw you can make against man-to-man coverage is a swing pass to the running back. That could very well have gone the opposite direction.
It very well could have and almost did. But the Browns drive on with a penalty. They're down to the 20.
That's an offensive lineman out there to the right side.
Open receiver. Touchdown Cleveland. Robert Royal, a tight end, gets deep. And Colt McCoy's right on time with a 20-yard touchdown throw.
Well, Don, I can honestly say that I have never seen that formation before in all my years of football. Brilliant design by Brian Dable offensively there. You know, this Cleveland offense, if anything, they've been conservative more than anything. You see right there, that is big John St. Clair, the offensive right tackle outside with Mohamed Massaquoi and Benjamin Watson. And you get all the attention going that way, and you come back and throw the touchdown pass to Robert Royal on the backside.
Now the point after is hit up and good by Dawson. So Colt McCoy, 3 of 4 throwing the ball on that drive with 55 yards, the last 20 for the touchdown to Robert Royal. Browns kick off when we come back. We're back to Cincinnati, where Robert Royal, number 84, was on the receiving end of a touchdown throw by the rookie Colt McCoy. As the Browns go 6 plays, 75 yards for the opening score off the opening drive. Now, ready to kick off is Dawson. Cosby and Scott are back. Bernard Scott. It's a gap. Look out. Across the 45 and the 50. Dawson trying to get him. Blocking foul comes in. It'll come back. Great return, but there is a penalty marker down. Nemesis of the Bengals all season long, particularly during this long
return. Holding. Receiving team, number 51. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Cincinnati.
No doubt about this. Dan Skuta with the hold. You'll see number 51. Boy, I'll tell you what, I'd like to see if Bernard Scott can outrun him without holding him.
7-0 Cleveland, and here's how they did it.
Well, let's look at this formation. You're going to see on both sides. Look at that. You got an offensive lineman, Joe Thomas on the left side and John St. Clair on the right side. But watch right here. This is Leon Hall. He's going to see a little hesitation by Robert Royal, and that's just enough for Robert Royal to get behind him. And Colt McCoy with the great throw. Over the top, right on the money. Touchdown, Robert Royal. Brian Dable accused maybe of being overly conservative in recent weeks. Right there showing he has a little bag of tricks of his own.
Boy, he went deep into it. A terrific formation, one you'd never seen before.
I truly have never seen that formation. And I think the Bengals, when they saw Josh Cribbs stacked behind Robert Royal and Joe Thomas on one side and Mohamed Massaquoi stacked behind the offensive lineman on the other side, they were thinking it was going to be a screen pass. And that's where that hesitation from Leon Hall was. It really cost him.
There's actually 2 penalties on that play. The blocking foul, and then there was a personal foul called on the kicking team, the Browns. So with the 2 penalties, the ball will be spotted at the midfield stripe, and that's the Bengals going offense for the first time.
Well, you know, the penalty that was called on the Browns is unsportsmanlike conduct on the sideline. The coaching staff right there, you can see the referee made contact with somebody. There goes the flag with somebody on that sideline. And, you know, after the big issue in New York this past week with the Jets and the tripping incident on that punt play, the referees are going to be overly aware of sideline coordination and going along with the rules and making sure that everybody's back out of the way.
Well, I'm going to bet that Brad Seeley just couldn't get out of the way. He's the last guy you're going to find doing something like that intentionally. But talking before the game with one of the great names in NFL officiating, Art McNally, who's here today supervising, overseeing the game. But this is a whole new area that's been opened up now with the sideline formation.
It really has. And every team does have what you saw referred to through the coverage this week as a get-back coach. But I've never seen a wall formed like that, like the Jets did. And, you know, there are rumors that other teams do it as well, but they aren't going to let it happen anymore, I guarantee you that.
Carson Palmer, the 8-year veteran from Southern California, former Heisman Trophy winner, hands off to start the game. And a good-looking run is Cedric Benson from Texas. Works his way ahead for plus yards, almost to the 40-yard line. Looks like he has a first down. We look at the offensive line. Whitworth is the leading vote getter among AFC offensive tackles for the Pro Bowl. Darrell Owens, he had 10 catches for 222 yards and a touchdown in the September game between the Bengals and the Browns. Won by the Browns at Cleveland, 23-20. Nicely timed throw, near side inside the 40-yard line. Out to the tight end, Reggie Kelly. Joe Hayden makes the stop. Looking at the defensive front, Haba Rubin getting rave reviews as a defender for the Cleveland Browns. Big guy from Iowa in his third year. Chris Okong had a career best, 10 tackles last week against the Bills. And in the secondary, Joe Hayden, the #1 draft choice, 7th overall pick, gets better game by game. He's a standout already. Second and 7 for the Bengals. Running hard, getting yards is Cedric Benson. How about the Colts and the Jaguars? Big game in the AFC. James Brown has the story.
Don and Steve, Jags trying to win the AFC South with a victory, but Peyton Manning and the Colts capping an 8-play, 82-yard drive with that pass to Austin Collie. They take the early lead on their opening drive, 7-0 over Jacksonville. Don and Steve.
Thanks, JB. A win today for Jacksonville gives them the divisional crown.
Something tells me that number 18 over there in that blue uniform is not going to go down quietly, though.
Well, he started fast. Peyton Manning now. It's 3rd down and less than 2. Browns make hits on the run, and terrific work by Cedric Benson. Bounces off the initial hit. Finally, he's brought down by Matt Roth, outside backer for the Browns, but it is a 1st down for Cincinnati.
You got that right, Don. That really was a nice run by Cedric Benson right there. Great move to shake Joe Hayden, who Eric Mangini calls a great tackling corner. Just a good little shake move there by Cedric Benson. We talked in the open how key and how vital I thought it was for Cedric Benson to get going today. He looks like he's ready to play some football.
He's off to a good start. Last week, it's hard to believe, but the Bengals ran the ball only once in the second half in a loss to the Steelers. Running it today. This time the Browns are all over it. Atata Rubin, the nose tackle, makes the stop. Going to be 2nd down and about 9 from the 28-yard line of the Browns.
You saw that stat on that last look before the play in the graphic showing that Cedric Benson putting the ball on the ground 7 times this year, only once all of last season. So we talked about Peyton Hillis and his problems hanging on the football. Obviously, Cincinnati's been having the same issues.
It changes the game. The most deciding stat. The team that wins the turnover count most of the time will win the game. Palmer waits and misses his receiver on a crossing pattern. He checked down to Benson. Ocho Cinco, apparently, Steve, having some knee problems.
It looks like T.O. actually at the top. Did something. He's there it is. It's that left knee. You know, he did not practice much this week. We heard that his knee had been bugging him. He had an MRI done after practice on Wednesday. Did not get any definitive reaction as to what was found in that MRI, but we were told he was going to play. He should be fine today, but those kind of things on an older receiver are hard to get over.
Well, that didn't look good the way he came off. And as you mentioned, Steve, he hadn't been practicing. Long ball to the end zone. Play for the ball. Incomplete. Good coverage by the Browns. The rookie T.J. Ward was covering on the play. The target was Andre Caldwell.
All right, I want you to see right here, Don. This is Jordan Shipley right here coming in motion. What he's going to do is straight across the field. Look how he gets open coming across the field. That's where the ball should have gone, if you ask me. Carson Palmer made a decision to go for it to the backside, but his best receiver would have been Jordan Shipley there. And we're going to go for it here. Cincinnati Bengals 4th and 9.
Jordan Shipley, of course, was McCoy's top target at Texas the last few years. They were teammates. 4th down it is. Here's a throw. Comes in high. What a nice catch. Did he keep it? Penalty markers down at the line of scrimmage. Abram Elam putting a hard hit on as the ball came in, and a penalty marker down.
illegal formation offense. They were only 6 men line up on the line of scrimmage. That penalty declined. First down, Cleveland.
So the Browns take over the ball with a 7-0 lead. The top draft picks is certainly Cincinnati right now with the number 2 pick the way it stands at this moment. Looking at the list, this is one projection. If Andrew Luck comes out, quarterback from Stanford, he'd be number 1. Daquan Bowers, a terrific pass rusher from Clemson. After that, different draft forecasters have different people. Tom Morrow, the cornerback from Nebraska, is held extremely high by teams I've talked to. Peyton Hillis runs the ball for the Browns and gets out to about the 33-yard line.
That was classic Peyton Hillis right there off the right side. But as we go back to these draft picks, again, most of these guys are underclassmen, you can see, with the exception of Amukamara. He's the only senior in the group, so we don't know that all of them are coming out. But if they were to all come out, I think a good fit for the Bengals with that second pick, and there would be that Daquan Bowers right there, the defensive end standout. They need an impact defensive player over there. Really would make a difference, I think, for them.
Well, in the meantime, they're hoping to win some games down the stretch run. Here's McCoy checking down nicely. Goes to another tight end, Ben Watson. Royal, the tight end, caught the touchdown throw, and Watson, very sure-handed guy, a Patriot for 6 years, is ahead for a 7-yard gain.
Yep, good job by Colt McCoy right there. Not seeing what he wanted up the field. Look, you see the head immediately turn when he didn't see what he wanted up the field to his check down. That was Ben Watson. And Ben Watson, a guy who has been on Super Bowl teams with the New England Patriots, said he felt, when we talked to him yesterday, he felt like this team was not far off from being a really good football team.
Ben Watson told us that Colt McCoy has good command of the huddle. You can tell he's a guy used to winning. Here's a long ball up for play, incomplete at the 25-yard line. Nice breakup by Jonathan Joseph, the left side cornerback. The target was Josh Cribb.
Well, this is one downward where Colt McCoy predetermined where he was going to throw this football, and you can see Jonathan Joseph in very good position the whole time. Jonathan Joseph, Marvin Lewis refers to his corners, both Leon Hall and Jonathan Joseph, is playing at a Pro Bowl level. But right there, Colt McCoy should check on the release to see if he's got a shot at Joshua Cribbs at the field. Right there, he really did, and that was almost a pick.
He's been close to a pick twice. Hillis protecting the ball, doesn't get a lot, gets about 3. Big game, Saints and the Ravens. Here's James Brown.
Hey, Don and Steve, Saints have won 6 straight, looking to clinch a playoff spot with a victory and some help. Drew Brees, nice grab there by Jimmy Graham, 18-yard strike, capping a 7-play, 60-yard drive, 7-0 the hot New Orleans Saints. Don and Steve.
KJB, interesting, the Browns, while they've struggled, they have beaten New Orleans, and they soundly beat the New England Patriots.
And then they lay an egg last week against Buffalo with a terrible performance.
Big rush, they come with a blitz and a terrific throw by Colt McCoy on a slant pattern. Ryan Robisky starting to come on in his second year out of Ohio State, ahead for a 9-yard gain.
Well, Brian Robisky does something that we haven't seen a lot of out of the Cleveland Browns wide receivers. He beat man coverage on the outside, a one-on-one coverage on the outside. Jonathan Joseph gave him the inside. Brian Robisky ran a nice, decisive route, made the catch. Ball right on the money by Colt McCoy.
Yeah, he was right on target. First down, Browns. Hillis, and he knocks people back. You can tell, Steve, he's putting a lot of emphasis on ball security. That has been his problem.
No doubt about the ball security has been the issue for him. But Colt McCoy, let's talk about the first drive and what we've seen so far. Looks very under control, decisive. He's made 2 bad decisions he got away with, but he's showing the things that have gotten Cleveland and this coaching staff so excited. The ability to make plays, the presence on the football field, it kind of lifts his team.
Colt McCoy's lifting him right now. Playing a very good football. Good fake, looking deep. Long ball on the way. Fight for the ball, and it's incomplete at the 9-yard line. A target was Massaquoi. So he's not holding back here, Steve. He's throwing long balls.
You know, I love the mentality. I love the way that this kid is just going after it and going out there and taking shots. But again, you have Jonathan Joseph, a veteran cornerback out there. who was in good position on the outside. You see, it looks like he's wide open, but Jonathan Joseph, he was not fooled one bit. Almost had a little trouble finding the football, but he was in good position to make a play on that ball. Colt McCoy, it's okay to take some shots. Just don't get too greedy.
Injury report on T.O. His return to the game with a knee problem is questionable. Throw and a catch, and running hard is Chancey Stuckey.
You know, Don, when
Nice ball on the field.
When you watch film of this Cleveland Browns offense, you see them hit Chancey Stuckey a lot of times on these 3rd and short situations coming on the crossing route. And it seems to me that every single time he gets tripped up short of the first down. I've never seen him be able to separate and get that first down. And right there, true to form.
Now back for the Bengals is Quan Cosby, a teammate of McCoy at Texas. Now the Longhorns in this game today. Reggie Hodges with a good-looking punt. Forcing a fair catch at the 8. Well done by Hodges, having a good year. Free agent punter out of Ball State. 33-yard punt, but terrific placement. With Steve Berline, this is Don Criqui back at Paul Brown Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio. Bengals down to the Browns 7-0, starting from their 8-yard line, closer to the 9. After a Browns punt, Benson with terrific balance gets great yardage. Gain of over 7, make it 2nd and a long 3 with the ball is position 2. And a half about, so Benson gets it again.
He just stuck.
That's going to be 2nd and 7 now. Well start.
And we saw Chad Ochocinco.
Oh, now it might be the Browns jumping offside.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 53.
And Roth jumps.
The 5-yard penalty results in a first down, Cincinnati.
Yeah, right in your face. Matt Roth right there jumps, no doubt about it. But I'm a little surprised. I'm just talking about you on the sideline. You see Chad Ochocinco. He's sitting over there on the sideline. I don't think he really understands why he's not out there right now. We did get the impression, though, in talking to Carson Palmer, that we might see more of the younger receivers. They've got some high draft choice young wide receivers on this team that have some potential.
Yeah, they want to take a look to Jerome Simpson, also as a 2nd rounder 3 years ago. Beautifully timed throw by Palmer for a first down out across the 35-yard line.
And that was Simpson you were just talking about.
Yeah, well, there he is.
There he is. Shows up well. Nice route. And you know, you ask why. Why do this? And Chad Ochocinco does not want to hear anything about it. But you're at a point in the season where you're 2-11. You got to evaluate where you're at as a team and see who these younger receivers are and if they can step up and play, especially, you know, with a guy like T.O. Unfortunately, he's getting up there in years. He's got the knee issues. You're going to need these young guys to step up.
And it cost the Bengals $6 million to keep Ochocinco next year. Both could be gone. T.O. and Ocho.
They very well could be.
Uncertain futures with the Bengals. Marvin Lewis, coach of the year last year, wondering about where he'll be next year. Will he be back for a 9th year as head coach of the Bengals?
Cedric Benson contract up as well. Terrell Owens, Chad Ochocinco has got the club, has the option on him. A lot of really interesting, difficult decisions to be made by the Bengals brass.
Mike Brown, president of the Bengals, will be making those decisions, the final call. And here is a handoff and another run. Benson has been a very good acquisition. He was a high draft choice in the first round by the Bears, had his problems there, was out of football. They picked him up as a street free agent, and he's going to be over 900 yards for this season rushing by the end of this day.
Well, I really like the way he's running the football today. He is getting after it and like a guy with something to prove, and I think that's a great attitude. You know, this season has been disappointing, but he's running out there today like he's on a mission to say, you know what, don't count me out yet.
Here's Ochocinco back on the field at the lower portion of your screen. They're down in 3. Palmer, beautiful throw to midfield for a first down. Carson Palmer, 60% completions. What's really hurt those, the 18 interceptions, 5 picks returned for touchdowns, 2 last week.
And that right there, a nice completion to Andre Caldwell, another one of the young receivers that Carson Palmer, when he was talking about these guys yesterday, he seemed excited to see what they could do on the football field.
Andre Caldwell was a third-round pick in 08 out of Florida. First down. Palmer with a big arm puts it right on the numbers of Jordan Shipley. He makes his 48th catch of this, his rookie season. Palmer's really high in his praise of Shipley. He says he doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah, he said not only does he not make mistakes, he said he's a natural football player who's probably been making plays like he has here all of his life. He just comes out, he just gets it. You only have to tell him how to do things one time, and he figures it out.
And we're winding down now to the end of the first quarter as the Browns on their opening drive went 75 yards in 6 plays, 20-yard touchdown throw from McCoy to Royal, and they lead 7-0. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, joined JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Bengals at the 45-yard line of the Browns, down to Cleveland 7-0 as we start the second quarter. Palmer, timing throw, well executed down to the 36-yard line for a first down. Andre Caldwell, 9-yard gain.
Yeah, look, boy, Carson Palmer getting back quick, getting rid of that football to Andre Caldwell. Nice throw. Caldwell looking very comfortable out there as well. But when you talk about Carson Palmer, we asked Marvin Lewis what he felt the problem was this year, and Marvin Lewis said he just felt like, well, last week specifically Carson had pressed too much, but in general he's a guy that likes to be a part of every rep in practice, and he's been bumped up a little bit with the ankle, and he just hasn't gotten the reps this year and the comfort that he'd like to have.
He's 4 for 4 throwing on this drive, and running well again is Cedric Benson, 227-pound back in his 6th year from Texas. Brown safety Elam gets him down, but there's a 12-yard gain. Benson getting the ball a lot, and he's averaging 5 yards a pop with it.
Watch this. You see right there Cedric Benson pretty much by Cedric Benson.
The Browns forced Carson Palmer to fumble twice in September at Cleveland. And the Browns turned those turnovers into 2 field goals in a 23-20 win. Good bootleg, good throw. Gets it to the tight end, the rookie Jermaine Gresham. First-round pick from Oklahoma, and he's inside the 20 of the Browns. Marcus Bernard, who hadn't practiced all week, makes the stop.
John, and you're seeing some success. Now look at this off the play action bootleg right there because of the commitment to the run. And Marvin Lewis said that's one of the areas they wanted to stay on task with was the running game. They gave up on it, like you said, last week. Only 1 run in the second half against Pittsburgh. But those big plays on the bootlegs and things like that come off the commitment to the run.
Palmer says Jermaine Gresham could end up as the best tight end in the NFL. He thinks his upside's unlimited. Open gap, heading for the end zone and stepping in is Cedric Benson, and the Bengals are an extra point away from tying the game.
Well, that's only the 5th rushing touchdown of the year given up by the Cleveland Browns. They were tied with Pittsburgh for #1 in the NFL. Not easy to score running the football against them.
18-yard touchdown run, and Cedric Benson has now run 9 times for 64 yards.
Look how easy that was. Boy, you like to see Andre Caldwell, the receiver, blocking downfield too, but no one even got a hand on Cedric Benson that play.
Clint Stitzer, the free agent rookie, hits the extra point up and good. He stepped in when Mike Nugent, the former Buckeye standout, went out with an ACL injury for the rest of the season. We're tied up at Cincinnati. An 18-yard touchdown run by Cedric Benson, number 32 of the Bengals, and the extra point have tied the game. Benson, a terrific drive. He carried 5 times for 45 yards in that drive, and Palmer was perfect. He had 5 of 5 throws. Now the extra point. Cribbs is back for the Browns, coming up on a short kick to the 18. The 30 and out to the 34-yard line. So with the rookie at the controls, the Browns go back on offense, 1st and 10. We're back to Paul Brown Stadium. 7-7 game and the 75th renewal of the Battle of Ohio. The Browns with the ball and the Bengals. Good look at Colt McCoy. Rookie quarterback named the starter for the remainder of the season for Cleveland. Hillis with that little up in the air move. Does a nice job. From TV's #1 comedy to the new #1 comedy, the #1 news magazine, the #1 news show, and the #1 drama on television. Thanks for making CBS America's #1 network.
And Don, you can see why. If you look at the graphic down there, pretty even so far at this point, but you can see why Eric Mangini would be excited and want to name Colt McCoy as quarterback for the rest of the year. He does have that little presence to him, and he's playing very well so far today.
Ben Watson said you can tell he's done a lot of winning. He carries himself. And he does a good job to throw it away and live to play another down. Pecco coming on hard. Boy, they talk about Pecco as a really one of the best interior defenders in the league at 320 pounds out of Michigan State. Mangini was really high in his praise of Tamata Pecco.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was worried about whether they'd be able to control him. And you saw Colt McCoy right there. That was a good job by him getting rid of the football, but encouraging for Eric Mangini and Brian Dable to see him running to his left and throwing okay off of that left ankle that had the high ankle sprain.
Yeah, he told us his ankle is functional, Colt McCoy said. Not fully healed yet. 3rd down throw, tip ball, and the Bengals will get it back as Cleveland has to punt.
Well, you see Colt McCoy got hit right there, and I think one of the other reasons, even though they didn't succeed there on that 3rd and long, but one of the things that he told us that I think has really paid off for him is the fact that he prepared, even though he was told all through the preseason, the early part of the year, that he wasn't going to be a factor this year. He said he prepared as though he was going to play every single week, and he felt like that was going to make, that's one of the reasons why he's been able to move in so well.
They said Jake Delhome's been a tremendous help. That pass rush was by a rookie, Carlos Dunlap from Florida, who's really been coming on for the Bengals. 3.5 sacks in the last 3 games. Here's Cosby, and he takes it out to the Bengal 25-yard line. So with the score tied 7-7 after a 46-yard punt and a 10-yard return, we'll be back. Temperature in the low 20s in southern Ohio. Carson Palmer, first drive not much. Second drive terrific.
Exactly right. Now let's see if they can follow it up. Last week after the opening drive, 69 yards against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They only had 131 total yards after that. Bengals last drive here, 91-yarder. Let's see if they can follow it up.
Howard set to the right. And that's where they're, no, a play. They come back to the near side to Shipley. And the Fast X Longhorn gets across the 30, gets out to the 33, almost the 34. Brian Schafering knocks him down.
I'll tell you, what a great effort by Brian Schafering, the big guy. Look at him, he's 6'2", 295, number 91. He reads the screen on the outside, and just that effort, that extra effort, was able to get a hand and trip up Jordan Shipley. If he doesn't make that tackle, Jordan Shipley's down the sideline.
Bengal personnel people think Brian Schafering is very underrated. He's extraordinarily strong. Here's a run on a short yardage play. Bernard Scott gets the carry, averaging almost 5 a carry this season. Matt Roth on the stop for the Browns.
And he's another guy you would expect the last part of the season, Bernard Scott, to get a real good look. Marvin Lewis, very intrigued by this guy. They really think he's got some talent. Carson Palmer mentioned some good things as well, but with the situation with Cedric Benson, you'd think that Bernard Scott would get a good look the rest of the season as well.
Well, he looked good in that carry. Carson Palmer's never lost in his career to the Browns here in Cincinnati. He's 5-0 at home against the Browns. 8-3 against the Browns overall. Ball on the field. Is it live? And so it's incomplete. Coming on a corner blitz, Eric Wright.
That was a very strange play. You're going to see Eric Wright coming off the edge right here, just straight off the edge. And Carson Palmer
Whoa.
Sees him coming, but doesn't do anything to get rid of the football. And
this is close.
And
to a fumble.
It really is close to a fumble. And hit the ball, hit Andrew Whitworth right in the behind there. But I think no doubt the ball was coming forward out of Carson Palmer's hand.
Browns must think that. They're not calling for a replay review. Again, a hard run, penalty marker down as a crossing the 40-yard line and hit hard by Eric Barton. Is Bernard Scott, second year back from Abilene Christian. See what the penalty marker is.
Holding, offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Reggie Kelly, tight end.
Yeah, you're going to see Reggie Kelly holding David Bowens right there on the bottom of your screen, number 96, just trying to get back in to make the tackle. Reggie Kelly hoping nobody saw that, but hard to hide that one.
You're going to hold, I guess, make it a good one, huh?
Yes. Oh,
it's a good one. But it makes it 2nd and 20. And the percentages of converting on this set of downs for first down plummet. Statistically, it's highly unlikely, but in this league with an arm like Palmer's, he might hit a 40-yard throw right now.
He can hurt you quick.
Looking long. How about that? Terrific throw off the edge. Chad Ochocinco, and Palmer delivers a beauty for a 15-yard gain.
A nice throw and catch, and right there we saw a little bit of life out of Chad Ochocinco. Good pocket for Carson Palmer to step up and throw it. And you mentioned that if you make a mistake, if you give him a hole in that defense, Carson Palmer can hurt you in a hurry. Rob Ryan, defensive coordinator for Cleveland, talked about both Chad Ochocinco and Carson Palmer with great respect. He knows that these guys still have some football left in them, but what a great job Rob Ryan has done with this defense in general all year.
They're concerned about keeping Palmer in the pocket. He can run. Another terrific throw. So on 2 downs, he gets the 20 back, and more than that, 14-yard gain, a 29-yard combination of a 15-yard throw and then a 14-yard throw, and the Bengals are cooking.
Well, you talked about how tough it is to make that second 20. That looked pretty easy to me right there. That was just 2 throws, boom, boom. That was Quan Cosby, number 12, another young receiver picking up the first down.
Really spreading the ball around. 7 players have caught a pass today for the Bengals. First down. There's a strike coming up. Hitting Bernard Scott was T.J. Ward. Bowen's also on the stop.
Well, we're going to hear these pads. You want to hear some pads popping here? Listen to this.
This is the business they chose.
It is. It's a business we all chose.
2nd down and 5. Palmer's big at 6'5", almost 240 pounds, and Bengals, as we mentioned, ran the ball 1 time in the second half. In the loss to the Steelers, are running very well today. That was 8 yards on that play.
You know, they're doing a great job, the Bengals, in moving their tight ends back and forth across line. You look at that push and the seams, either way, right there for Bernard Scott to take it and make the cut. But what the Bengals are doing offensively, they're changing the strength of the formation after Cleveland gets set, which is really messing them up. They're not able to adjust to the new strength the Bengals are establishing by moving the tight end back and forth.
And today, Steve, the Bengals have rushed the ball 12 times for 80 yards.
Very efficiently. They're only averaging 87 yards a game.
Averaging a 6.5 a carry today as the penalty marker's down.
The layup game, offense, number 9. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
People, wonder about the commitment of a team on a 10-game losing streak, but Carson Palmer told us Friday, he said, we have a locker room full of professionals that want to win. And you watch them practice and you think they're getting ready for a playoff game. There's a lot of enthusiasm out there.
Right, and nobody wants to get this thing straightened out more than Carson Palmer does. He is completely sick and tired of the losing. And here we go, the shift of the formation again.
First and 5. Starter step move by Seth Benson. He's inside the 35-yard line. At about 5. Rubin on the stop.
Well, we mentioned before, you know, the respect that Rob Ryan has for Carson Palmer. I think that one of the things right now that's showing up is that
Number
the Bengals have a...
is an eligible receiver. 74 is eligible.
So Dennis Rollins, an eligible receiver. They're going in one of their unbalanced looks. But what we're seeing, though, right now, Rob Ryan's having a little trouble figuring out this whole Cincinnati Bengals offense.
On 2nd and 10. Carson Palmer locks and loads and delivers a beautiful strike. Down inside the Browns' 15-yard line, a 21-yard gain.
A great pocket again for
Cinco.
Great pocket again for Carson Palmer, and Ocho Cinco finding those holes. But look at the way the ball comes out of Carson Palmer's hands. A lot of people kind of whispering a little bit here in Cincinnati and around the league about whether he might have lost it a little bit, but I don't think so for a second. I think he's having a tough year, difficult circumstances, but I still love the way this guy throws the football.
Well, rookie cornerback Joe Hagan, the Browns, says Chad is one of his football heroes. And now a stop is made at the 11-yard line. On a first down play, DJ Ward makes the stop. Benson getting carry after carry. 11 carries today, Steve, for 72 yards.
And look at this, already ahead of their average, the Bengals with 88 yards on the day. They're the 30th ranked rushing team in the NFL. Right now, Rob Ryan, his defense is 8th in the NFL in the red zone. He's hoping they can hold true to that form.
And this stop and forcing a field goal tried to be a big win for the Browns defense. As Ben putting on a cutback. Kenyon Coleman is on him. Mataba Rubin talking about Rob Ryan. Says he's a fireball as a coach. He gives us energy every day. We love him.
Yeah, and everybody you talk to when you talk about Rob Ryan, as we see the good penetration by Cleveland right there. A little slip by Cedric Benson, but everybody you talk to who knows Rob Ryan, they say pretty much the same things. You know, the energy, the passion, the spirit, the ability to really get to know his players and get him in the right positions. That's what makes him stand out.
Third down. They need 5 for the first down. Looking at the end zone.
Yeah.
Penalty marker.
No doubt.
First and goal. Bengals. Pops Adams called for it. Maybe they call Gresham for a push. Let's see.
Pass interference. Offense.
It is the offense.
84. 10-yard penalty. Replay. Third down.
Well, no doubt there was
contact.
Serious contact. You're going to see Jermaine Gresham there, Gresham on the right side. That's Mike Adams covering him, and he just pushes
Correction.
off.
The pass interference penalty is declined. Fourth down.
Yeah, Rob Ryan happy to take that. Eric Mangini as well to settle, have Cincinnati settling for the field goal here. Jermaine Gresham, as you said, Don, the Bengals rave about him, but right there, a little bit over aggressive with that right arm.
That was a little bit each way though. Pops had a little grab on him there.
Yeah, there was some contact both ways.
Stitzer with a 25-yard field goal try to break the tie. He does. And the Bengals take the lead for the first time today, 10-7. Cincinnati kicks off when we come back. Field goal drive by the Bengals. Stitzer hitting the 25-yarder to give Cincinnati the 3-point lead. Now he's ready to kick off. Number 3, a rookie free agent out of Fresno State. And there is a guy that's returned 8 kickoffs for touchdowns during his career. Limited this season because of 4 dislocated toes on his right foot. Spinning kick is short. Cripps puts on a burst. Good open field hit by Cincinnati. Brian Leonard makes the stop. Why, looking good here, Steve. Southern Ohio is about 20 degrees.
Okay, it could be a heck of a lot worse. That wind we're kicking up.
Yeah, wind night, really good playing conditions. They were worried it'd be a pretty difficult day. Hillis, they're looking for him to get it a lot. And he could as the game wears on. That's just his 7th carry now for 26 yards. Roy Williams makes the stop for the Bengals.
But you see the way Peyton Hillis finishes those runs too right there. Roy Williams definitely not going forward when he hits when Peyton Hillis finishes with him on that run. The most important thing for Hillis is when he does finish those runs that he keeps that ball. Eric Mangini said he keeps it tight to his chest. What happens is he extends the ball a little bit as he tries to deliver the blow once in a while.
You try to get that extra yard. Talk about keeping the ball high and tight. Nice swing pass off a bootleg to Hillis, who's a very good receiver. Peyton Hillis comes into the game with 57 catches. His first of this day. Peyton Hillis' Achilles heel has been the fumbling problems. He entered today with 5 lost fumbles, tied for most in the NFL among running backs, tied with the Giants and Ahmad Bradshaw. I think what you said, Steve, is just trying to get a little bit more.
Yeah,
exposes the ball.
And last one right there we saw in Buffalo last week. Jarris Bird did not fall for the hurdle and stuck his head right on that football.
McCoy stands in, nicely timed throw, very accurate passer. On a first down throw, he advances the Browns for a 9-yard gain. So the Browns moving well on this possession after going 3 and out in their last. Gathers is down.
That's Robert Gathers. He was running across the field trying to cover Robert Royal. Kind of hard to understand how a defensive end can be covering a tight end running across the field man to man, but Robert Gathers was right there to make the tackle.
Looks like a big Robert is going to be all right. 7-year veteran from Georgia and a stalwart in the defensive line.
You see him chasing all the way.
Robert Royal makes the catch. Just as he did not long ago when he, on the opening drive by the Browns, he caught a 20-yard touchdown catch. Quick out, Cribbs. Diving to the 36-yard line of Cincinnati. Colt McCoy, overall review of him, Steve, pretty darn good.
I'm very impressed. You know, yards, no interceptions, a couple balls could have been, but I really do like what I've seen so far. He's got something about him that gets you going.
Well, he's the only quarterback, college history to quarterback 10 or more wins for 4 straight years. From Coach of the Year to wondering about next year has been hard on Coach Marvin Lewis, who said during the week, people don't care about your problems. When you lose, you lose. Some would say even, Steve, most of the people don't care about your problems. The rest of them are glad you have them. In New York. Here is a throw and another beautifully timed throw underneath to Ben Watson. Crossing pattern by the tight end.
And Ben Watson, pretty much the same route we just saw out of Robert Royal. Just a crossing route, caught the zone coverage, soft zone coverage. McCoy 4-4 on this drive. They're not in a true 2-minute at this point, but they will be trying to be more efficient, getting up to the ball and getting the ball snapped.
Browns driving down by 3, 1:26 to go in the first half. McCoy has hit 10 of 15 for 102 yards and a touchdown. Here comes the heat. And down goes McCoy at the 39-yard line of the Bengals.
Yeah, they got to take the time out here now.
Michael Johnson, big rangy defensive end. Carlos Dunlap, another big rangy defensive end, pinched.
Well, Eric Mangini decided not to take the timeout at this point. Colt McCoy, you got to learn a little bit sooner. There are times where when you get that football back there, it's not what you see, it's not what you like. You got to get rid of it. You can't take the sack in that situation.
Puzzling why they wouldn't call a timeout.
I'm puzzled myself.
Throw and the catch inside the 35-yard line, and now with 29 seconds, the clock's still ticking down. It's very hard to explain.
Well, I think.
Now they call one.
No, Cincinnati called one.
Timeout, Cincinnati. This will be a 30-second timeout.
We'll be back to Cincinnati in a moment. Eric Mangini seeing his Browns moving the ball in this drive, and now this sack sets them back, and this is fourth down coming up out of field goal range for Dawson. Down by 3. The rookie under center. McCoy now spreads the field.
That same formation they scored a touchdown in earlier.
Sure worked before. Now what do we have? Timeout by the Browns.
First charge timeout.
Some confusion.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
And interesting, albeit puzzling, last half minute now for the Browns offense. This is fourth down coming up.
Well, during the break, they ran the kicker out there, Phil Dawson, and then they decided to pull him back, and now they're going for it again.
4th and 7. Here comes the heat. Long ball downfield. Live ball broken up. Robisky almost got it. And did we have a hit on a defenseless receiver? Flag is down. Leon Hall came in and hit hard.
And if that is indeed the call, we're going to need to look at it again here after we hear the call. But Leon Hall knows better.
So Jerome Boger with his crew getting this evaluated and sorted out with 16 seconds to play in the first half, and the Bengals leading the Browns 10-7.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation, offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 31. Those fouls offset. Replay, 4th down.
Well, that's a win for the Bengals. Offset penalties.
Well, yeah, you know, and there is a difference in a personal foul and in illegal formation, but not when you really get down to it. They offset each other, and right there you just saw he dropped his head, and that was what the penalty was called for. Roy Williams, get over there. There was no need for him to put his head down into Brian Robisky's head. We all know the focus that's been on that throughout the league this year, in the last couple of years, especially this year. And they're going to call that every single time.
You see 16 seconds remain in the first half. 4th and 7 again. Now it's 4th and 12.
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty.
John St. Clair moved early. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report.
Well, now we're going to see a punt again. And this is Reggie Hodges, who, as good as he's been this year, the most amazing stat to me is that since week 5, he has not had one punt go into the end zone as a touchback.
That is good. Look at here's that end-over-end punt, beautifully placed again. Fair catch by the Bengals at their 7-yard line. Cosby makes the fair catch. And now you would think, Steve, that Carson Palmer's going to come out and run the clock out, take a knee.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Watch this. This is that new technique that all these punters have gone to in the last few years. That the ball is not dropped sideways like it always was, more the flat drop. It's now drop point down. They're trying to get that high end-over-end kick that will come down inside that 10-yard line. With Reggie Hodges has mastered that. You see a lot of these punters doing that now. Back when I played not that long ago, none of them dropped the football like that.
Well, that's the second time today that Hodges has placed the ball for a fair catch inside the 10. That's the end of the first half. With the Bengals in the lead, we'll be back with the Sprint Halftime Report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
We got the indication from Carson Palmer that we would see these younger receivers, and having T.O. go out with the knee injury made it possible to happen sooner.
Bengals start the second half as Bernard Scott runs back the kickoff, and very well. Finally knocked out of bounds out of the 40-yard line. Look at the halftime stats. Solid rushing numbers for the Bengals, 90-26 for Cleveland. Passing yards even.
No doubt that's the key, and that also leads to this right here. The time of possession, 17:53. It's hard to score when you don't have the football. So I think for Marvin Lewis and this Cincinnati Bengals offense, the key is to do more of the same. Keep that running game going, because that does slow down the pass rush. It gives Carson Palmer the clean lane to step up and see his receivers and deliver the ball on time, on the money.
Palmer, 10 of 15 in the first half for 100 yards. He used the term a clean pocket. He's getting room to operate, and this is helping him operate as his running game has been so proficient. Cedric Benson pounding away.
Well, we have a late flag in there, Don. I don't know what they're going to call. Holding against Cincinnati, looks like, up front. Ataba Rubin almost made the tackle. I think he was held.
Holding. Offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Center Kyle Cook, I believe that he was holding for dear life onto Ataba Rubin on the inside. You're going to see right here in the middle of your screen, right there, and it's Ataba Rubin that he's going to try and block. Watch the two of them get tangled up. And Rubin, you can see, trying to get off and make that tackle, but Cook was not going to let him do it.
And as you're well aware, Steve, this isn't a playoff game, but it has playoff implications for the coaches. They're right now playing for possibly their careers with these franchises, both under review. Long ball. What a beautiful throw and catch. Beautifully executed as Andre Caldwell times it up under a high lofted ball off the right hand of Carson Palmer for a 20-yard gain.
Well, if anybody has any doubt about Carson Palmer and what he can still do under pressure, he was hit as he released that ball by Eric Barton, but delivered a beautiful pass up and over the top. Look at that ball come down right on the money. Andre Caldwell couldn't have missed that ball if he wanted to. It was so perfectly thrown.
So the Bengals on the play, get out to just past midfield, and here is a timeout signal for. Play clock was running out.
First charge, timeout.
Marvin Lewis not happy about burning a timeout this early in the half. Tis the season to be giving, but not the ball, not turnovers, and these teams have protected it pretty well today, Steve.
They have done a pretty good job, and it's been plaguing both of these teams at this point this year.
Bengals by 3. Well, they're running off that right side. They're getting big power out of that Bobby Williams, the left guard, right guard. T.O., we're told, will not return to this game today, and who knows, maybe he's caught his last pass as a Bengal.
Well, you know, I would, if I had to go out on a limb and project that, I would say you're 100% right, Don. You know, at his age, 36 years old, and all he's been through, great career with the
ball freed up on a terrific hit by T.J. Ward. Ball was right on target to the first-year receiver, tight end Jermaine Gresham, but Ward, another rookie, separated him from the ball.
Yeah, you're going to see, though, great job reading it and reacting by T.J. Ward right there, and then the break on the ball. This is a guy that has picked it up from day one from Rob Ryan's our defense, and Eric Mangini. They just rave about this kid's ability to close on the football, make plays, and not act like a typical rookie out there as far as making mistakes.
Good job on that. Palmer having a very solid day, managing the game. Here's a blitz. He waits, and he dumps it off to an open receiver. And we have another number 40 who can leap over people. Brian Leonard, a former All-American at Rutgers, on a catch and run of 19 yards.
He pulled a page out of Peyton Hillis's playbook right there. The other number 40, you're right. Carson Palmer, super job at checking it down, and then T.J. Ward was coming in for the hit, and Brian Leonard showing that he can go up and over as well. Tremendous play.
Whole new era, the up and over era of football. Guys are so athletic. I tell you, Steve, this is a pretty basic running game. This is just power run off the right side.
This is very impressive the way that Cincinnati's getting after. But talk about leaps. Let's look at the guy who's really put it on the map this year, Peyton Hillis. most times he's gone to that move, it's worked out very well for him. Although right there you saw the one last week that he was kind of caught.
He sees his counterpart, number 40, in the black jersey, go up and over. And now a handoff and trying to hit into the right side of the Browns defense. Not much. Gokong makes the stop. Guy who had 10 tackles last week against the Bills. Smart guy, an engineering degree from Cal Poly. And plans a career on engineering in the biomedical field after football.
And he's obviously a sharp guy to be able to have those options out in front of him. But for right now, he's playing some pretty darn good football. But he's got to figure out how to help his defense shut down the Bengals running game.
Boy, the Bengals line has been a big story today. Their offensive line is getting it done. Palmer. Young receiver, not that young, third-year Andre Caldwell. He worked an in pattern. I think Carson Palmer looking for an out pattern.
And there was a little bit of miscommunication there for sure. And that's one of the things that will happen when you get young receivers out there with the veteran quarterback, or vice versa. You know, we're going to see some of that out of Colt McCoy the rest of this year as well, misreading his receivers because of his inexperience. But right there, I think it's safe to say Andre Caldwell probably didn't do what he was supposed to do on that play.
This is a 39-yard field goal attempt by Stitzer. Had plenty into it, and he's right down the middle. Take a look at the Brian Leonard leap as we go to the break. And the Bengals have now scored 13 unanswered points to take this lead. This is Don Criqui with Steve Berline back at Cincinnati. Stitzer just hit the field goal to extend the Bengals lead to 13-7. There's Joshua Cribbs. Browns hoping he can break it. It's now going to be on the shoulders of a rookie quarterback to get the Browns back down by 6 after leading early 7-0. Cribbs' ball, is it out?
A lot of people on the field seem to think so.
Some ugly things go on down at the bottom of that pile, and they keep the ball.
There's a lot of emotion going on down there. Something happened down in that pile.
You hate to see a yellow flag go flying in the air.
Well, let's see what happened here. Joshua Cribbs, one of the that ball definitely came out. Now, we saw last week, same thing. Joshua Cribbs had a fumble on a reverse.
Got it back.
That looked as though 4 Buffalo Bills were going to fall on top of that football. Somehow he stuck his left arm in there and pulled it out. He got very fortunate right there as well.
It was Jeremy Miles who made the hit. Browns have not scored anything since their opening possession when they took it downfield beautifully and scored on a 20-yard touchdown throw. And they come out running. And the Bengals are up to it as Peyton Hillis is stopped after a short gain to Maka Peko. Got a sports fan in your gift list? CBSSports.com. Shop as officially licensed NFL gear and get 3-day shipping on every order. Go to shop.cbssports.com.
We're talking about Colt McCoy. Look at that. Pretty darn good numbers for a quarterback making only his 6th start. Both quarterbacks playing very well.
All security's everything. Here comes the rush. He eludes it. And they get him as he tries to go wide. In this league, unlike the Big 12, you can't outrun the big guys. Pat Sims runs him down from the defensive tackle position.
You're exactly right, Don. At this level, you're going to find these defensive linemen can close the gap in a hurry. Right there, I'm sure Colt McCoy felt, based on his experience playing in the college football ranks and won in a very good conference while he was at Texas. He normally would get outside on that thing and have a chance to make a play, but at this level, it isn't going to happen that easily.
Look at the last 3 dives, just virtually nothing. And McCoy has been anointed the starter for the Browns for the rest of this season. Cuts it off nicely. And Hillis finds a way. He did it himself to get it out to cross the 30.
He's just a wrecking ball when he gets that ball in his hands. It's just people people just hit the ground hard in a hurry.
Didn't get enough, though. They got a punt.
No, but a great play, not enough, no doubt, but field position. Look at the catch, though, the one hand. You know, he told us last week that his dad, from his earliest age, was working with him on catching the football. Told him that was an incredible asset, even as a running back, and Hillis really enjoys that part of it.
That's right. Hillis says every coach you play for is going to ask you, can you catch the ball?
No matter the sport. Exactly right.
Ball hit downfield. Cosby. Terrific move. And Cosby out across the Bengals 45-yard line to the 47. 15-yard punt return. Back to Cincinnati, a good day for old-time football. Line up and blast away. The team that runs the ball best and holds on to it should carry the day, and that's been the story for the Bengals so far. They've got the best running game, and here it goes again as Benson changing directions. A little chill in the air in southern Ohio, just like they like it in December. Benson now 16 carries, 88 yards, 5.5 the carry speed.
Very impressive so far.
Boy, he is very impressive.
You know what's going on here, Don, is that Eric Mangini told us that one of the things that they wanted to do and they felt they could do to Cincinnati, as we look at a good, strong run to the left side, but Carson Palmer, he described him as a half-the-field quarterback. He makes a decision pre-snap what side of the field he's going to go to. So they wanted to disguise the coverages, but right now with all the movement Cincinnati's doing, Cleveland is too concerned with what they're doing themselves. They have to adjust all the time and change the coverage based on the changes Cincinnati's making.
There's a game ball. There should be at least 5 of them go to those offensive blockers.
No doubt about it. They're moving them out up front. And you give credit to Bob Bratkowski, the offensive coordinator for Cincinnati as well to this point. He is really keeping Cleveland on their toes, and I think Rob Ryan, very hard man to fool on that other side of the field over there, but he's having a hard time getting a feel for what Cincinnati's doing to this point.
Browns are going to be after the ball. They need a turnover. Been a clean game from that standpoint both ways. The Colts and the Jaguars, a huge game. Let's go to James Brown.
All right, Don, take a look here. Career day for Donald Brown on the handoff on 2nd and 15. Brown takes it 43 yards to pay dirt. First 100-yard game of his career, 10 carries, 123 yards and a touchdown, and an 11-point lead by Indy. Back to Don and Steve.
All right, James, and right now we have 9:17 to play in the third quarter. Ball control football by the Cincinnati Bengals as they take it down to the Browns' 25-yard line.
Well, that right there gives Cedric Benson 111 yards rushing on the day. And we've still got a lot of football left here in Cincinnati. If they can keep grinding out 4 or 5 yards a pop on this Cleveland defense, that makes it a very easy football game. It makes it an easy game to play.
Marvin Lewis told us, Steve, that Carson Palmer pressed too much last week in the loss. He's got to be patient and manage the game, and he's done that beautifully today. Here's a guy who helps you do it. Benson. This guy is hard to tackle.
Well, he's running possessed here. We definitely talked about it in the open about how Cedric Benson had to be a factor in this football game. Well, he is allowing his teammates and his offensive staff to do whatever they want to do right now. He's not messing around at all. He's making decisions, he's making cuts, and he's running hard.
Last 6 carries for Benson, 5 yards, 7 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, and 6 yards. Very basic, fundamental football. Line up and hit. Last open a hole and send the sure-handed runner who protects the ball. Benson, like all the good ones, the more he gets it, the more he likes it.
No doubt. And what this does also, too, you saw the time of possession before that last play. Cincinnati up over almost twice as much time of possession as Cleveland. That you limit the team to that few plays, it's hard to be patient as an offense.
That time they get Benson for little or no yardage. Trusnick making the tackle. Player highly regarded by the scouts around the league who evaluate pro personnel. You don't hear a lot about him. He is a sound player from Ohio Northern.
Well, one of the things that I think has been kind of a trademark for Cleveland this year on defense is when they do get down into the red zone, they do seem to toughen up. You know, their numbers as a defense on a whole, they're 348 yards, 22nd in the NFL as far as total yards given up, but nobody scores touchdowns running the football on them.
Here's a throw now, Steve, on 3rd and 5, end zone. Contact, but they rule it's clean. Abram Elam, Jerome Simpson was the target. He was a second-round draft choice out of Coastal Carolina 3 years ago and has had limited playing time. And we were told Friday by Carson Palmer, we want to see what this guy can do, and they're looking at him today. He had one nice catch earlier.
He did have a nice catch earlier. Right there was good coverage by Abram Elam to shut him down and force Cincinnati to go for a field goal again here.
And the rookie free agent kicker, Stitzer, goes back to work. Delivers again. Now the Browns have a problem. 3:33 left to play in the third quarter as the Bengals build their lead to 9. It's been a while since Bengal fans have been smiling. The Bengals haven't won a game since September, but they're winning now.
Good to see people having fun.
Stitzer 3 for 3 on field goals as the Bengals build their lead to 9. Kicks off a spinning short kickoff. Joshua Cribbs takes a shot, gets out to about the 34. So the Browns will try again on offense when we come back. Don't these guys know they're winning?
Yeah. You know what? That's right. They've obviously worn them all season. They can take them off now. Give us a win.
I tell you, your offensive line's giving you a win right now, but now let's see if Holt McCoy can jumpstart the Browns. Comes out pitching. Beautifully timed throw. First down, Cleveland out to the 45-yard line. Mohamed Massaquoi.
That's a good, strong throw by Colt McCoy, but let's look at what has happened since their opening drive, that 75-yard touchdown drive that was so impressive to open the game. Since then, you know, a couple of 3-and-outs, but 4 punts. They've got to get it going here. It's now a 2-score ball game. Colt McCoy needs to step up and get this team going. That's a good start to the drive right there.
Yeah, down by 9, Steve. That's right. They're not going to get there running.
And this is not a comeback team.
Timeout, Cleveland.
So a timeout.
This will
2:53 to go in the third quarter. Down quickly with Steve Berline back in Cincinnati. Browns led early 7-0. Now they've got to claw back. Hillis. Bengals are tackling well today. Hillis is a very limited production.
Well, one of the things that's difficult when you're down in a situation like Cleveland right here, we're going to watch Peyton Hillis with the stiff arm right there showing his strength. Didn't get a lot out of it, but got more than most would have. But you get in a situation like this, it's hard to stay patient with your running game, but now you still got over a quarter to play. You need 2 scores. You got to keep committed to running the football in order to give yourself the best chance to be successful.
Hillis, 9 carries, 30 yards, 3.3 a carry. Here he goes again. Now he looks like look at him break it. Hillis drives it inside the 35-yard line. A lot of Browns fans here.
Yeah, the Battle of Ohio turns them out. But boy, that was the best run we've seen today from this Cleveland offense. Right up the gut. Nothing fancy about it, though, but a good seam. And Peyton Hillis, 16 yards right up the gut.
Cincinnati has won 5 of the last 6 games against Cleveland in this Battle of Ohio. 9 of the last 12. Right now, the rookie quarterback is called on to lead the Browns back into this down by 9. The guy he called his baby blanket. Hillis, his power back, drives again. Hillis now 11 carries for 51 yards.
Well, that was another one right into the teeth of the Bengals defense, and that time they were up to the challenge. Good job by Dhani Jones and company right there, holding their ground and saying, you know what, we're not going to just lay down and give it to you, Peyton Hillis. We're going to make you work for it.
Now the Browns O-line, Steve, coming off the ball, knocking people back. McCoy from the shotgun on 2nd and 8. Beautifully thrown ball and a catch inside the 15-yard line. Terrific play by Ben Watson. And McCoy has come alive. He's now hit 8 passes in a row.
Now this is a beautifully executed throw. You're going to see Ben Watson right there. See the little hesitation move he gave. It froze Dhani Jones, and then a beautiful throw by Colt McCoy. This is one of the most difficult throws in football to make, Don. Up and over a linebacker in tight quarters with a safety trying to break on the ball as well. Very confident, accurate throw by Colt McCoy.
You've been there. That's a beautifully thrown ball. And here is Hillis going right at the Bengal defense. So the Browns are really amping up their run blocking, a 7-yard gain. Long way to go. We're late in the third quarter.
They're going to try and get the snap off and catch Cincinnati off guard here with a quick snap.
Hillis dives inside the 5 on the final play of the third quarter. It's going to be on a first down carry, 1st and goal for the Browns. Bengals lead it. We'll return after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. The 75th renewal of the Battle of Ohio comes to the 4th quarter now. Don Criqui with Steve Berline at Paul Brown Stadium. Browns 1st and goal, down by 9. A whole quarter to play. Hillis has been dominant in this drive. He gets it again. But this time they read him and wrap him. 3rd and 1 play.
And man, I'll tell you what a
4th and 1. You got to go for it, Eric, I think.
Well, Lawrence Vickers sure thinks so. He's running off the field saying no, but Eric Mangini knows that if they don't get it on 4th down, if they go for it, that puts them in a bad situation. But you're going to see a great job by the right side or the left side of the Cincinnati Bengals defense. A lot of guys there to meet him, but Eric Mangini knows it's a touchdown and a field goal. You might as well take the field goal right now. You need both of them at some point. Take the sure thing field goal.
Bill Dawson down the middle. And so it is a 16-10 game. Browns getting the first point since their opening drive. They stop. The Browns, after an extended drive, are stalled, and they kick the field goal to get back to within 6 with 14:06 to play. 8-man Juan Cosby awaiting the kickoff. Dawson hits it. High spinner. Carries down to the 6. And now Scott brings it back from the left side, and he takes it to the 20.
Let's look back at that 3rd and 1, Don. It was an amazing play, really, when you think about Peyton Hillis, number 1 in the NFL on 3rd and 1. But watch right here, Roderick McElroy, and then from the right side of your screen, you're going to see Dhani Jones coming in low. Dhani Jones hits him low. McElroy hits him high. And, man, it's just like running into a brick wall. A big man like Peyton Hillis not able to even pick up a half a yard on that play. Great defensive effort by Cincinnati.
Well, we asked Dhani Jones, how do you stop Hillis? And we talked to him on Friday. He said, you hit him. You hit him hard. Bernard Scott runs the ball. Bengals with a 6-point lead, a team that has not won a game since the month of September.
Somebody's down. I think it's a Taba Rubin.
Two Browns
guys
are down.
down. Is that Eric Wright and a Taba Rubin? Taba Rubin's
It is. 21 is Eric Wright. Yes. So two Browns are shaken up, being intended to a break in the action. We'll be back to Paul Brown Stadium after this. We're back to Cincinnati. Eric Wright, leg injury on the last play. Cedric Benson now is the runner for the Bengals in the game. 2nd and 3. Set up a screen, and very nicely on the run is Andre Caldwell. Caldwell inside the 30 and all the way down to the 20. A tremendous play by the Bengals. P.J. Ward stops it, but he does it 53 yards downfield.
Wow, what a super play coming out of the break. You're going to see right here, watch Andre Caldwell. He's going to step back at the hard play action to the right, and you can see the ball's going to come here, and you got blockers out in front. Andre Caldwell timed it perfectly. Great throw, perfect location by Carson Palmer. You had the whole Browns defense running to the right side of the field, and you come back and hit him hard with the big play to the left side.
Yeah, it was terrific execution by Palmer setting it up. 1st and 10 Bengals. Browns defend the run. Benson hit by Eric Barton.
Well, we're going to go back and look at the injury to Eric Wright, and I'm going to warn you, just if you're queasy, you might want to be careful watching this. Taba Rubin, his left leg swings, and you're going to see it catch Eric Wright's left knee or below the knee, and fortunately the referee blocked anything that else that might have happened there, but it definitely a leg whip, and it's good to see Eric Wright up walking on that leg because it looked like it could have been worse.
2nd and 10 comes out. Bengals run it down close to the 10. Cedric Benson banging away all game long. That's his 25th carry, 129 yards rushing.
Well, Don, you've been talking about it. It starts with the guys up front. Andrew Whitworth, Nate Livings, Kyle Cook, all these guys on the left side. But look at the yards, too, now after contact. We had the no-huddle quarterback sneak there, trying to get the first down. Carson Palmer, I think, picked it up. Yeah, no doubt.
Eric Wright heading to the locker room, Steve, after that lower leg injury, knee injury. We can't be sure, but it is 1st down and goal now for the Bengals. This could be the knockout punch, a knockout drive. They take it in. Benson. So hard to tackle, such great balance. Great change of direction, quickness. He finds a gap.
He's got 26 carries now, Don, for 133 yards. And what I like about the way he's running is that there is no doubt which way he's going. You look at the rush yards, the season high previous to today, 149. Today, they're already past that. But I like the way he's protecting that football. He is not even letting anybody think about getting that football out of his hands.
Last week, against the Steelers in a loss, Bengals ran it once in the second half. One running play and a half. Today, it's been the staple of their offense. Running the clock, running the ball, leading the game by 6 right now, but that could change shortly. They're in chip shot field goal range, but they're still at 3rd down coming up. 3rd and goal from just outside the Browns 3.
Coming into today, you look at the fewest rushing touchdowns allowed. The Browns have given up 1 already today, but they were tied with Pittsburgh for the lead.
Let's see if he play fakes and throws it. 3rd and goal. He throws it. Great breakup. Went to Ocho Cinco. And defending on the play was Sheldon Brown, the right corner.
I'm going to show you something here. You're going to see Jordan Shipley, number 11, was wide open on this play for a touchdown. You're going to see him right here. Here he is. He's just going to go straight out to the flat. Nobody covers him. And you can see all all Carson Palmer had to do was dump it off over the top, and it's a touchdown for Cincinnati. He'll look at that one and be very upset tomorrow. He's very hard on himself.
But he'll be happy with the 3 points that extends the lead back to 9. So, time's becoming a factor for the Browns. Big play on the drive, the 53-yard pass to Caldwell. Kevin Huber hasn't had to leave the comfort of a heated bench all day. Bengals haven't punted.
He's telling his teammate there, guess what? I haven't had to do anything today, and I'm still going to get paid this week.
Now the Browns need a big play. Joshua Cribbs, here's a chip shot downfield. I don't know about the wisdom of that, and the Browns are going to bring it back out to the 39-yard line. Titus Brown in the block. The guy ran.
Well, Colt McCoy's got his work cut out for him now. We're in a situation where he's going to have to throw the ball. And look at what we got to deal with here now. The fewest yards by a wide receiver group in the league. The Cleveland Browns, 32nd ranked in the NFL as far as yards produced by their wide receivers. There are 4 individual wide receivers with more yards than the Cleveland Browns team has for their receivers.
Well, that was close. NFC game as we go to James Brown.
Hey, Don and Steve, finally the Eagles with a touchdown on the scoreboard. Take a look here. Michael Vick hooking up with Jeremy Maclin, 8-yard strike to make it 24-10. That came after a Mario Manningham fumble. Starting at the 4th period of play. Don and Steve.
All right, we have 2nd down and 5 here for Colt McCoy and the Browns. Down by 9 in the 4th quarter. Here comes the heat. And he throws it away. Back to New York in James Brown.
Jacksonville drawing within a touchdown of Indy. Take a look here. David Gaddard, play action, hooking up with Mike Sims Walker, 6-yard strike. That caps a 7-play, 77-yard drive. 24-17, start of the 4th. Don Crickey, Steve Burlon.
All right, scoreboard's changing, James, around the league. The Browns needing the big hit over the top. They looked great on the opening drive. Took it 75 yards downfield on 6 plays and scored on a 20-yard touchdown. And have not been in the end zone since.
And this is a mug defensive look with the linebackers walked up inside. Mangini was very concerned about coming in, and it's worked very well for Cincinnati today.
This guy's a force, this Carlos Dunlap. He started slow in training camp. All of a sudden, he's been coming on.
Illegal formation, offense, only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. That penalty decline, 4th down.
Well, that's the 2nd time we've seen that penalty called on Cleveland today, but you're going to see Carlos Dunlap coming off the edge right here. You're right, Don. This is he has 4.5 sacks now in the last 4 weeks. This kid doesn't even turn 22 years old until February.
Florida Gators, 2nd-round draft choice.
What a future he has.
Well, he is unblockable, at least on that play. Osby fair catches the ball. Bengals have it, and a 9-point lead with 8:40 left to play in Cincinnati. How consistent has the Bengal offense been all day? They have not had 1 3-and-out. Their punters never left the bench. They run the ball. This time Bernard Scott gets the call. They continue to pound away, running the clock with a 9-point lead. Look at some scores around the league. A huge game, the Indianapolis-Jacksonville. They were talking about Jack Del Rio maybe losing his job in Jacksonville. Now he's a win away from winning the division.
Yeah, and doing it in the King's house, Peyton Manning's house up there in Indianapolis. But look at the bottom right there. Detroit and Tampa, in Tampa all tied up.
Beautifully executed pass play. Penalty marker, Jerome Simpson makes the catch here, a 15-yard gain. Flag is down in the Browns secondary. Jerome Boger says.
Illegal contact, defense, number 23. That penalty is declined, the result of the play, 1st down, Cincinnati.
Well, you want to know what made this play. Now watch Bernard Scott, the running back, step up here, and he catches. It was actually the fullback. That would have been Cedric Pearman that came back and made that block.
Kind of a tough call, wasn't it? He ran into him, but they called it.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm saying is if that block wasn't made, that throw wasn't made by Carson Palmer. That was Eric Barton shooting the gap, and great job just picking up, getting a piece of it.
Yeah, clean pocket. They were talking about at halftime. The Bengals keeping Carson Palmer upright. Continues. Coming next, Mark Sanchez and the Jets try to bounce back against Big Ben and the division-leading Steelers, or the Broncos battle the Raiders. Check local listings. This season, more people watch the NFL on CBS than any other network.
Well, the Steelers going into that big game with the Jets. No Heath Miller, and more importantly, probably no Troy Polamalu.
Remember that? The other 43 guys, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Have to worry about. They're loaded. The Steelers are just a great defense.
They are, but they are different with Troy Polamalu out there.
That's good. Carson Palmer. Bernard Scott runs. A basic game plan, +7 on the run.
And all Rob Ryan can do is shake his head. They have not had an answer. Look at the offense. Since the first quarter, man, Cincinnati 321 yards to only 99 for Cleveland.
First down. Who's in the game at running back? That's who's getting the ball. Another straight ahead run play. He bounces it. Scott inside the 45-yard line down to the 44.
You know, Don, Cincinnati riding this 10-game losing streak. This could be the second week in a row that Eric Mangini loses to a team coming into this game with only 2 wins. It's not a good sign. Not the way you want to finish the season.
Another thing about the Bengals, as you're well aware, Steve, they have played the toughest schedule in the NFL, looking at the opponent's win-loss percentage, and the Browns have played the 3rd toughest.
Yeah.
You asked Carson Palmer what keeps you going in this long losing streak. He said the hope of getting a win. It changes everything.
That's what drives all these guys, believe me. A lot of people don't understand because they haven't been in that locker room. We see 2 Browns slow getting up there, but the toughest strength of schedule, you can see Cincinnati #1 and the Browns #2. All 4 of those teams, one thing in common, they're not winning a lot of games. But these players want to win. I don't care whether they've got 2 wins or they got 12 wins. They want to win the football game. That's what they play it for.
Yeah, you know, P, you hear sports talk and things. Oh, maybe it's better off if we lose and get a better draft choice. Well, let me tell you something. If you play that way, you're not going to be here to see that better draft choice. You're out of this league.
No, good to see Derek Robinson getting up and walking off, but you're right, Don. If it doesn't mean something to you, if you show one sign of it not being important to you or that you're not giving 100% effort, not only will your coaches see it, but your teammates will call you out on it, and they won't want you around.
Carson Palmer, he was very high in his praise of the Browns. He said it's a much better team than the one we played in September. He thinks the Browns are really good. And the question you have to ask about Mangini, are the Browns a better team since he got there? I'd say yes, they are. Not today, but they've beaten 2 of the best, New Orleans and New England.
Yeah.
Clobbered New England, which is hard to believe.
Well, the one thing that you can say negatively, though, is that they've had a tendency to play to the level of their opponents. And they've won some games they shouldn't have, and they've lost a bunch they shouldn't have as well. The first game against Cleveland in Week 4 was a game that started this 10-game slide for Cincinnati.
And on 3rd down, Palmer looks to cross the Browns all-out rush up with a run, but the Browns stop it. T.J. Ward, the lead tackler, 43 on Brian Leonard.
And there we see for the first time today Kevin Huber, punter for Cincinnati.
Hope he didn't forget how.
I think someone had to wake him up on the sideline. We've got another player down here right now for Cincinnati. That is Brian Leonard.
He's had some knee problems. He's a former second-round draft choice of the Rams out of Rutgers. Well, Brian has attended to. We remind you tonight on 60 Minutes, a discovery about memory. People who have remarkable ability to remember every day of their lives. What could it mean for the rest of us? Find out tonight on 60 Minutes, only CBS. So the clock stopped with 4:29 to play. Bengals in the lead 19-10. Team that has not won a game since last September. And looks like Brian Leonard is unfortunately pretty badly injured. So when play resumes, it'll be 4th down for the Bengals, and they'll punt the ball for the first time with Josh Cribbs back for the Browns inside his 10-yard line. It'll be up to McCoy. He's got to throw some deep balls. Has to be done.
Coming for the block off the edge.
Penalty markers down.
You know, Don, that actually works in Cleveland's favor.
False start. Offense, number 56.
I mean, Cincinnati's favor, because you saw Sheldon Brown sneaking in from the outside. They were going to try and come with an all-out block, but because Cincinnati jumped off sides, that kind of thwarted it. It made Cleveland show their hand a little bit. Now Cincinnati's going to be ready for it.
Offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty.
Roderick McElroy, a first-year player from Texas. Well, McCoy's seen a lot of old friends. A lot of Texas players out here, particularly on the Bengals. Cribbs. Has he got a big return coming? He lets it hop. And Huber's first effort of the day is down to the 12-yard line. So the Browns, down by 9, have the long field to go and not a lot of time to do it. 4:06 to play. This week's buzz around the NFL.
Well, a lot of things to talk about, especially this time of year. But let's talk about what's going on right there up in Indianapolis. The Colts leading the Jags. Peyton Manning not willing to lay down for the rivals in his division, and then Eli Manning leading the Giants over Philadelphia, surprising a lot of people there, 24-10. And then Denver versus Oakland. Tim Tebow is expected to make his first start today. A lot of people will be watching that today and talking about it tomorrow.
Manning brothers might start their own bank. Those boys have some cash.
They got a chance, don't they?
First down from the shotgun. Here comes the heat. Beautiful throw up the middle. And a first down. As Watson looks downfield, finds Watson. McElroy getting the ball to Watson, and so the ball is going to be advanced to the 27-yard line. Boy. On the run, down he goes. Boy, having some problems with the rush as this game wears on. They know he has to throw.
Well, we've got the Jets and the Steelers coming up next. Want to remind everybody to keep it tuned to CBS.
Watson again out to the 29.
Now the Bengals are in their prevent, Don, and they're more than happy to give up these passes, even if it's for a few first downs here and there, just to eat that clock up and keep it working in their favor.
Boy now 17 for 23. 173 yards passing, 1 touchdown. He's not been intercepted. Beautiful throw downfield. Another terrific catch by Watson, the former Bengal.
I'll tell you what, that is impressive. Ben Watson knew he was going to get hit. It's the same play that they threw a little bit earlier in the game. The one I was impressed with Colt McCoy with the way he laid it in there. That time had to put a little bit more air on it. Ben Watson paid the price, but came down with the gift, the catch.
2.5 to play and the clock running. McCoy trying to lead the Browns back. The rookie quarterback from Texas. Downfield throw, receivers there. Ball is caught. Robisky's going in. Touchdown Browns. Ryan Robisky in the end zone for the first time in the NFL.
That was a bad angle. This ball should have been intercepted. Worst case scenario, knocked down. But you see right there, Kewan Ratliff, who is a corner, was playing safety for some reason on that play. He took a bad angle. And I'll tell you, if you're not familiar with playing the safety position and you're all of a sudden put back there, you're not quite used to making the break, and he made a mistake and paid for it. Ryan Robisky taking it to the house.
Extra point is good. Each team has 2 timeouts left. 5 plays, 88 yards. Scoring play, a 46-yarder. The former Buckeye, Ryan Robisky. First-year player McCoy, the second-year player Robisky. Browns are down by 2 now. They'll have to kick off. 2:13 to play, and now the hands team will come out.
Well, I like seeing that. You know, in that situation, Colt McCoy, he understood you got to make yards in chunks. If you just dink it down the field, you got to take a chance once in a while. They made a play. Now, one other point I want to make, Don. People ask, why was Kewan Ratliff playing safety for Cincinnati? Well, do you realize that the Bengals already have 3 safeties on injured reserve? Jabril Wilson, Chris Crocker, Chinedin Ndukwe went down last week. They don't have any more safeties. That's why he had to play back there in a position that he's not comfortable with. The coaches have asked him to do it, and I'll tell you what, they paid the price right there. Onside kick coming.
Bengals have it at the Browns 44. Fight still going on. Official signals it is Bengals football.
The ruling on the field is that the ball was recovered by Cincinnati. First down.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, that ball went right through Brandon Johnson's legs. Did you see that? Look at watch 59 right there. Ball goes right through his legs.
Right to the wickets.
And Quan Cosby, number 12, right there to pick it up.
So there'll be 3 clock stoppages. The Browns can stop it twice with their 2 timeouts, and we'll get down to the 2-minute warning. 2:11 to play. It'll be a third. Run has been the staple for the Bengals. Their lead cut to 2. That'll take us down to the 2-minute warning as Benson runs. 2 minutes to play.
2-minute warning.
Second down and the 7 coming up when we come back. We're back to Cincinnati. Don Quinton with Steve Berline. Marvin Lewis under the gun. He turned down a contract extension after last season. Now his Bengals and Marvin are really battling for a lot more than just a win.
It's been a long time since this city's had a win.
Except for the Bearcat basketball team of Cincinnati. Here is a give now to Benson. He takes it down. Bearcat basketball, they're unbeaten.
They are playing some good college basketball. Now, Eric Mangini, he knows.
Timeout, Cleveland. This will be a 30-second timeout.
He and Rob Ryan have got to come up with something to shut down Cincinnati to have any chance. If they don't make the stop right here, the game is over.
The longest losing streak in Bengals history was a 12-game tailspin that spanned from the last game in 1992 to the first 11 games in 1993. Dave Shula was the coach, and both David Klingler and Jay Schrader played quarterback. Well, the biggest play in the Bengals arsenal has been a power run right when they had to have it. Let's see what they go to now on 3rd. Long 2, almost 3. Straight ahead.
And looks like he got it, Don.
This line's from this side. Deflin's giving it to him. So Eric Mangini can only watch the clock tick away. Let's see, they're going to rule it.
Third charge timeout, Cleveland.
That's the last one. Last timeout for the Browns.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 47 seconds.
You've got to give credit to Cedric Benson and this whole Cincinnati team. They came out playing inspired football all day today and have really played well. They had a good game plan, both sides of the ball. Today, Cedric Benson, 149 yards. His season average only 65.8.
Is on the video review.
31 carries. He's got 276 carries for the season. Last play is being reviewed because it's all important. If the Bengals did indeed get the first down, and that was the ruling on the field, they will run out the clock. Browns can't stop it out of timeouts.
But Cedric Benson this year, that's his third 100-yard game he's had, and he had 6 last year. And man, that was a good, strong run. I'll tell you, the guy that took one right in the chops there was Jason Trusnick.
So we'll find out if the spot was correct and if the Bengals have a first down. The coaches and everyone else waits to see if it was indeed a correct spot and a first down for the Bengals. If it was, they'll win the game.
After reviewing the play, the rule on the field stands. First down, Cincinnati.
Well, that about wraps it up. Cincinnati, Colt McCoy knows it. Eric Mangini knows it. And what does this mean for Eric Mangini? You know, well-documented Mike Holmgren coming in, gave him the chance this year based on the 4 consecutive wins to end the season last year. And
yeah, I'll tell you, I remember Art Rooney, the late Art Rooney, hired a coach for the Steelers, an assistant coach. Guy won 1 game his first year, 2 his second. Everybody fired this guy. Rooney said, no, we think he's going to really be good.
Ended up working out all right for him, didn't it?
He's in the Hall of Fame. Chuck Noll won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. The Browns have another draft like they did last April. Who knows how good they'll be?
Oh, I agree with you. And you said it earlier. I think this Browns team is a much better team than they were a year ago. They're very close. They've gotten some confidence this year. But the bottom line is Eric Mangini and Mike Holmgren guy? And that's what's going to come down to making the decisions. Mike Holmgren feel like he can take this team along the path he wants it to go. So,
well, if there is a change, would you think it'd ever be Mike Holmgren?
Well, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
He can do some coaching.
He has been known to do some coaching, no doubt. And what can you say about Colt McCoy? You know, today we saw him for the first time up close, and I tell you, he's going to be a player in this league for a long time. His first 5 starts before this game were against some pretty good teams: Pittsburgh, New Orleans, New England, the Jets, and Jacksonville. And you know, he held his own very well in those games, and today I think he did himself proud as well. And I like the way it's going around. Look at that. He's working his teammates, popping them in the chest, shaking hands, saying, we're going to be all right. Let's keep working. Let's keep working.
Like Ben Watson told us, you can tell in the huddle, he's a guy that's been a big winner in his career. But today the winner's going to be the Bengals. The losing streak ends, and they will win the game 19-17. And now for Steve Berline, this is Don Criqui saying so long from Cincinnati. You've been watching the NFL on CBS. Coming up is the Burger King Update. We'll take you to New York for all the scores and highlights after this. A great running game carried the day for the Cincinnati Bengals.
This is the end of the game.
They end the losing streak.